What if I told you that the things you think are investments are actually making you poor every single day? Total American consumer debt hit $17.57 trillion in 2024, and the average American spends 11.3% of their monthly income just paying off debt. And most of this debt came from purchases people thought were investments in themselves. Here's what's wild. Marketers know one psychological trick that makes us buy losses while thinking we're buying assets. They just change the packaging, and we fall for it over and over again. Today, I'm showing you the 10 most sneaky fake assets with real loss numbers. At the end of this video, you'll spot these traps from a mile away and redirect that money into things that'll actually make you richer. Let's dive in. Annual smartphone upgrades. Let's start with the most common one, buying a new iPhone with every single update. But let's be real, you don't even use 30% of your iPhone's features. Look at what you actually do. Calls, texts, camera, social media, music, navigation, and guess what? All of this worked perfectly fine on the iPhone 11. And this isn't just about iPhones. How many useless gadgets are sitting around your house that you bought to supposedly improve your life? AirPods Pro 2 when the first ones work fine? New iPad when the old one just collects dust? They sit there doing nothing and depreciate faster than your motivation to work out after New Year's. What the rich do: use their phone for 3 to 4 years, buy last generation models at a discount, invest the difference in index funds. New car on credit. The auto industry doesn't hide the ugly truth. According to Kelley Blue Book, new cars lose about 30% of their value in the first 2 years and continue depreciating 8 to 12% annually. Over 5 years, a car loses about 55% of its original value. Let's crunch the math on your new car loan. A $30,000 car with a 7% loan over 5 years will cost you $35,000 to $600. By the end of the loan, the car will be worth about $13,500. Total loss, $22,100. The rich do it differently. They buy 2 to 3 year old used cars with cash, avoiding the steepest depreciation phase and loan interest. Buy now, pay later services. The psychology behind these services is based on scientific research. They figured out one simple thing. The main pain point when buying is the moment of payment. MIT found that people spend 12 to 18% more when using cards instead of cash because of reduced payment pain. The danger isn't in one $50 purchase. The danger is that these services train you to spend impulsively. Today, sneakers for $120 split into 4 payments. Tomorrow, an Instagram marketing course for $200. Day after tomorrow, something else. And before you know it, you have 5 different buy now, pay later payments per month, and suddenly your cash flow is completely destroyed. Late payment fees often carry penalties of 25% to 35% annually. Rich people's strategy is simple: 24-hour rule for purchases over $100. Separate entertainment account with monthly limit. Status consumption. Federal Reserve research showed that households spending more on status goods have fewer savings and face financial problems more often. A Louis Vuitton bag for $2,000 is worth $400 to $600 on the secondary market after a year. 70 to 80% loss. Rolex watches are an exception, but most status purchases depreciate quickly. Real rich people often walk around in regular jeans and t-shirts, and those who flaunt labels usually live paycheck to paycheck. Chaotic course buying. Don't get me wrong, education is cool, but if you're just randomly buying courses without a clear application plan, you're not investing in yourself. When you keep buying drop shipping course for $997, Millionaire Secrets for $497, How to Make Money with Crypto for $297, you're running away from real action. Only 3 to 5% of people complete purchased courses. The other 95 to 97% waste their money. How the rich act. Buy courses only for specific projects. Complete one course before buying the next. Schedule time to apply learned knowledge. Impulsive crypto and stock investments. You're not an investor if you buy assets for fun or because of memes. It's gambling, not investing. Dalbar research shows that the average individual investor gets returns 3 to 4% below market returns due to emotional decisions and trying to catch the wave. 80% of day traders lose money long term. Social media-based investments show returns below random selection. Real rich people do their homework. They study companies, analyze financial reports, understand business models. They invest in diversified index funds that historically return 7 to 10% annually with minimal effort. Timeshares and travel clubs. According to American Resort Development Association data, the average timeshare price is $22,180, plus annual fees around $1,000. Now let's calculate the hidden costs. Fees grow 5 to 7% annually. Selling a timeshare is extremely difficult. Secondary market barely exists. Additional fees for booking, date changes, cleaning. $22,180 plus 1,000 times 20 years equals $42,180. With this money, you could vacation in different places for 20 years without restrictions. Insurance with savings component. They usually promise this isn't just insurance, it's an investment. You'll get your money back with interest. Funny how this investment grows slower than inflation. Whole life insurance returns are 2 to 4% annually, below inflation long term. Whole life insurance, $500 per month. 3% return equals $72,000 over 10 years. Term insurance, $50. Close investments, $450 in index funds, 8%, $83,000 over 10 years. Difference, $11,000 in favor of the separate approach. Thoughtless real estate investments. You buy housing to feel like an adult, but don't study the market. You just take what you can afford, thinking any real estate is an asset. Yeah, tell that to people who bought apartments in Detroit in 2006. Prices there dropped 50 to 70% after the 2008 crisis and still haven't recovered in many areas. Key factors for value growth: regional demographic trends, infrastructure development, city, economic diversification, transportation, accessibility. Principle: buy real estate where there are fundamental reasons for growth, not just where you can afford it. Lotteries, casinos, and sports betting. And finally, the classic: what if I get lucky? They're not selling you a chance to get rich. They're selling you hope. And hope isn't an asset, it's an emotion. Gambling math is ruthless. The chance of winning the jackpot in most lotteries is 1 in 300 million. For comparison, the probability of being in a plane crash is 1 in 11 million. In 2023, Americans spent $107 billion on lotteries, getting back only $31 billion in winnings. What millionaires choose: $100 monthly in S&P 500 for 20 years becomes $58,000 instead of $24,000 spent on lottery tickets. What? The goal of this analysis isn't to ban all purchases, but help you distinguish between expenses and investments. Buying a new iPhone is entertainment, not investment. Brand clothing is pleasure, not an asset. A lottery ticket is emotion, not strategy. The key is honestly calling them expenses and budgeting them as entertainment, not as part of your investment plan. Real assets are boring. Index funds, dividend stocks, education with application, real estate in the right places. They don't give instant gratification, but they're what creates wealth. Hit like if this video made you reconsider your financial habits, and definitely subscribe. There's more uncomfortable truth about money ahead. See you in the next video.